All right, it's 135 The Beat. Your boy Papa Keith here with Kabaka Pyramid. What's up, King?
Blessed love, my day I give thanks, you know?
That's what's up. Kabaki, man, before I get into what you have going on now, I want to take it back to a little bit of history. You're from Jamaica. What part of Jamaica are you from?
Kingston 6.
How did the music find you, Kabaki?
Well, I really got into the music. I guess the first entry into it was high school when we started a sound system. So we used to play out at parties and events. We used to keep our own parties. You know, we built a small home studio where we used to record artists, dub plate, and then eventually my brother started learning how to make beats and record music, and he taught me. And this was like 16, 17, you know what I mean? And from then we just always did music as just me and my brethren them, me and my friends them, just linking up. We never had no experience of going to no big studio or link with no big producer or nothing like that until years later.
Right.
You know, but we just experimented, you know what I mean, with dancehall, reggae, hip hop, you know, because we love hip hop music like growing up in high school, you know.
So who were some of the influences that, you know, people that you kind of looked up to back in those days when you were first starting?
Yeah, so when I first started, I would say because the funny thing is, right when I started actually recording music, that's around my transition to Rastafari. And that was all due to Sizzla Kalonji music.
Well, you know what I mean? You guys fave a little bit.
Yeah, no, people tell me all the while. You know what I mean?
Man.
He's an artist where I used to just listen to his music alone. I mean, Buju Banton, Capitan, Anthony B, that whole generation, Luciano, you know, and even coming up, like, you know, Damian Marley, Steve Marley, them are where icons them where you kind of pattern the sound off of. But Sizzla was a huge influence. But even like I really like dove deep into hip hop, like I was a big Wu-Tang fan. You know, obviously you have the Biggie, the Nas, the Jay-Z, but I went deeper into it, like Mos Def, Talib, Common, Cannabis, you know, Big Pun, all of them, Mobb Deep, you know. So like early days before I knew how to like really use my voice, because you have to have some singing ability for the reggae. And even dancer, even DJing, you still have to dip on the
Sing
key.
Jay, yeah.
But you have to sing, but I couldn't do it back then. So like rapping was easier for me. You know what I mean? I was like, I spit food for thought, the Fed Nation coming through like ventilation, back and forth like vibration, creating separation from you whack man. The track sends signals to my medulla. I respond like mutant ninja turtles in the sewer when I kick You know what I mean?
You sound like a New Yorker. You can't tell me you're not from Brooklyn.
Trust me, bro. Like, and I never lived there. I never spent a whole heap of time in New York. I just used to study the rapper.
Yeah. Well, listen. Dada is one of my favorite of all time. So we share that in common.
No,
and
man.
I have enough respect for him.
Trust me, Sizzla for sure. I'm an icon that.
Well, listen, man. Now you know you've gone from being a fan of these artists and a fan of those movements, and now you have your own fan base. You know what I mean? How'd you get the name Kabaka Pyramid?
Well, actually, you know, as a Rasta youth, I always try to have an African name. That's one that was important to me because I was born Keran Saman. I never did really love the name. I feel like attached to it certain way, you know what I mean? And especially within the Rasta livity, you know, we kind of learned that certain names coming down from slavery days, you know what I mean? So we don't identify with them name and we create an African name or some people get them from an elder. I never have no elder for give me an African name. I had to go Google and look up African names.
Research.
Research it. I just found Kabaka, it means king in Uganda. You know, and it just did really resonate with me. And the pyramid was actually coming from my rapper days. Like, as you say, I sounded like I come from New York, so I had a different name for my rapper personality, different from the reggae side, which was Kabaka. So Ronnie Pyramid was my name, coming from Keran, you know, Ronnie Pyramid. So that was you know, I was always deep into ancient Egypt and the pyramids and the mathematics and the science behind it, you know, and that is later in life, I realized that these things were built by Black people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was never something we grew up knowing. You don't even know that the typical person, maybe who don't study geography and probably think Egypt is in the Middle East and not in Africa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you listen, you know, the heighten of levels, you know what I mean? And I could tell you're already there. That's an argument that I used to have as a child. So when I was young too, and I'm not trying to make this about me, but I'm just sharing the vibe.
Of course.
When I was a child too, I used to question everything. I questioned religion. I didn't understand how any of it worked, and I didn't agree with it. And I just wasn't like a follower. You know what I mean? I wasn't like the sheep and just follow the you know,
No, the
where
fly,
the other
yeah,
sheep
for
was going.
sure.
So I would always question everything. So I would always say, you know, to teachers and stuff, well, what is the Middle East? There's 7 continents, and I don't know Middle East to be one. That's Africa. But as you get older, you realize they try to divide because Africa is connected to black, poor,
of course,
you know, slavery.
backwards, you know.
So they take the rich countries and they call that Middle East to create that separation, but it's Africa.
Definitely,
Africa.
For sure. African people civilized that whole area. You know what I mean? And we left our mark on the whole area. And they even whitewashed the stories and the texts and everything. Then broke off the noses off of the monuments. So it's, you know, that was really important to me. And the pyramid just symbolized all of that knowledge that from that time till now, it's still there. You know what I mean? So that's how I want the music to be.
Listen, I could talk to you about so many things. You know, I know you're here to talk about your music, but I could literally vibe with you. But please allow me to touch on this because I just want, you know, your vibe on it. What makes us as Black people so special? I always used to think like, all right, you know, we built America, we built, you know, Africa, we've done all these things. People have tried so hard to keep us down, to kill us, to genocide, everything, and we're so resilient. In your opinion, why do you see your people, Black people, so special?
Well, first of all, I think that we're the originators of humanity. You know what I mean? We're the original breed in that sense. You know what I mean? When human beings first started to evolve, they evolved from out of Africa, from out of the Nile Valley. So we know that. So the whole entire history of the human race is in our DNA. You know what I mean? So that alone carries us through whatever obstacle. And I feel there's a divine purpose for us on the earth as well. You know, we might not be able to see into the spiritual realms to see everything that's happening in the background, because I do believe that there's a physical world and a spiritual world. But I do know that within the spiritual realms, there's an importance for us as melanated people. You know what I mean? We're the people of the sun of Africa. You know what I mean? And that has a purpose deep within it, embedded. And as long as we are here, we have a chance for redemption of the entire planet. You know what I mean? We're the people who, when you forward to us, because we're so used to like abundance of soil and different things like that, that we don't immediately see you as an enemy. It's like we more embrace it. You know what I mean? And I think that setup, regardless of whatever that does, that humility that we have, or that maybe naivety that we had as a people, it still set up good karma for us. So because we know that we had good intentions and all of that, so we'll always reap the fruits of that. And you know, we could go deeper into it, but you know, that's basically how I look at it.
I appreciate it. I just wanted to, you know, to get that in there. Last thing before we get to the music, I have to recognize your shirt, and you know, and agree with it and endorse it. Schools, not prisons. Please speak on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brethren who, you know, started a hashtag movement. You know, he's all about building more schools, and he gave me this shirt, and I always rock it, especially on special occasions, because I do believe that the prison system is basically the continuation of chattel slavery. You know what I mean? It's all about cheap labor. If you watch the 13, you know what I mean, documentary about the 13th Amendment, you see that it's really all about that. It's a money-making scheme, you know, so they try to basically force us into situations where they channel us into the prisons. So they set the laws that are based on our culture. So anything that we do that's natural to us, they put it in a way that it's illegal.
It's illegal.
You know what I mean? They trap us in the trap, in the ghetto them, so that we can't get out. And once we go into prison, we come out, it's like you're already tagged, you're already targeted. So you have that label on you. So you know you have children and you are the father with that label. So it's just a generational cycle.
Yeah.
So schools and education is really one of the ways that we can get out of it. And especially if in schools we talk about investments, we talk about finances, we talk about ethics and the law and all of these things, so we can understand the places that we live in. And in Jamaica, we need to teach people about the music. You know, a lot of Jamaicans just don't know about the history of the music, and we don't have music as this is our national product. When you see tourist board ads on TV in the US, you see the beaches and the hotels. Right. You don't see the dancer, you don't see the studios, you don't see, you know what I mean? Like the big festivals. And this is our product. This is $1 billion industry thing. You know what I mean?
And it's incredible how a little island like Jamaica per square feet has more studios and more artists than anywhere else in the world.
Anywhere. And we impact, when you look at, we created a genre. You know what I mean? It's like, does when you think about like a world recognized genre, like if you go on iTunes, you see world music and you see reggae separate from that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And this is coming from a place with less than 3 million people. So we know the importance of the island and the music to people. We know that this is the only genre that has spirituality, truths and rights, social justice, you know what I mean? All of these things at the forefront, as well as lovers rock and entertainment and all of that. But we know that the legacy is really the freedom fighter spirit within the music, and it's embedded in it deep.
That's facts. Let's talk about your music. What project do you have out right now?
So right now, the last thing I released as a vocalist was the Immaculate mixtape. No, this is basically a free project we put out with a bunch of music, 26 tracks. I did it with Federation Sound, Max Blazer from up in New York. You know, I just gave him a bunch of songs that we did during, most of them I recorded at home in my home studio during COVID, you know, lockdown and everything, can't tour. So I just was recording crazy music. We put out the Immaculate mixtape, it's doing great. We had it on like YouTube and those free streaming platforms. Then we started promoting singles and putting them on all platforms and shooting videos. Songs like Believe is doing really well right now, getting a lot of rotation locally and abroad. Ready is doing good. Trample Them, Nice Up the Dance was a big one that I did with VP Records. You know, it was a cover with my own vibes of the classic Michigan and Smiley, Nice Up the Dance. So, you know, last year was really great, and the mixtape was the last thing I put out. Right now, though, what actually just came out Friday was the first 3 songs of my first production. It's a juggling rhythm.
Congratulations.
Give thanks. Like Victory Rap Rhythm is the name. Yeah, it's the title track is by Alain. I have Romain Virgo on the rhythm, Chris Martin, D Major, Stone Boy, Ayaz from out of Virgin Islands, who had the hit song Replay back in the day. I have like Gentleman from over Germany.
Wow.
So I'm just releasing like different groups of songs, because there's a lot of songs on the rhythm. I know the DJ them not like when you give them too much song one time. So I release them in stages. So 3 is out now, and then another 5 will come out in 2 weeks, and then everything drops as a full juggling March 26th.
That is beautiful. Why did you decide to come out with a project like this, you know, with a juggling and stuff like that? Traditionally, artists, you know, in your genre, they come off with one-offs, or they go, you know, like they work with other producers and stuff like that.
Of course.
Why did you decide to try this?
I've always loved composition and production and stuff. So I'm, you know, I've been making beats a long time. I wouldn't call myself the baddest beat maker, but you know what I mean? Because I'm more focused on my artist career. But like I like to be in that creative process. So like musicians in my band, I have my own band, the Bebel Rockers, I've been touring with for like 6-7 years. They played on the rhythm, you know, I have live bass on it, guitar, keyboard. My co-producer in Barcelona played drums on it, and he did some additional production on the rhythm. I feel like juggling rhythms is an important part of the culture. Yeah. And I feel like it's fading a little bit because the music is more artist-centric now rather than producer-centric. Yeah. Because, you know, if everybody is on their own Spotify, they're monitoring their stuff, they're distributing songs for themselves, you know, and stuff like that is happening. But I do feel like when the producers have a right vision for a project, and they have a good network of like DJs and different people where they can work with, I do think that the juggling is a great springboard, especially for upcoming artists. if you have established artists and upcoming artists on the project,
it brings
it's a
them
great
together.
springboard for artists' career. I feel like a lot of upcoming artists, them doing good music, but because they're not on that rhythm that's almost guaranteed to get some rotation. It's like if them don't know the DJ, then probably not gonna play them. If another artist who is very popular and relevant at the moment not full dance them, like how Leela and Savannah get the strength from Protege and stuff.
Yeah.
If without that, it's like it's a gamble. You don't know if anybody really are gonna defend your music. And a juggling rhythm is a nice package where it's easy for a selector to just play a bunch of songs and it helping a bunch of artists. Like a lot of the artists then over the years in reggae music is juggling rhythms, make them rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And give them great success in the music. So I feel like it's still a great part of the team.
I want to commend you on that because it's a funny thing you mentioned Protege. I interviewed him a couple months back.
Nice.
I respect what you're doing because as an artist, the easiest thing for you to do is make it about yourself, right? I mean,
exactly.
You could have producers send you stuff all day, do your thing, you know. But for you to because you know they have this saying that you need to the change you're looking for, you need to be it. You know what I mean? You got to be the change you're looking for. So you said it right there, like it needs to be an opportunity to create. You see it dying, so let me be a part of keeping it alive.
It's for the culture. It's for the culture for sure. You know what I mean?
I wish more people would think that way, and look at things that way. But I appreciate that you have.
But what I can say is putting out a juggling project, especially with a lot of artists, is a very stressful thing. It can be, you know what I mean? So I kind of, in a certain way, I kind of see. Because back in the day when artists depended on producers, they were hungry to come and voice.
Yeah.
But now that everybody have their own platforms and it's social media and everybody trending and thing, it's like they feel like they don't need it as much.
Right.
So it's hard to put together a project. It's harder now than back then.
Yeah.
So I don't blame everybody who said, boy, me try with this thing and, a single's the thing. Then I don't blame them, but I just feel like there's still a space for it. And if it can be done right, it took me 2 years to do this project.
Wow. Even during COVID, right?
Yeah, even during COVID. You know what I mean? So I don't think it would take me as long to do another one because I was, I just dropped my album that same year when I started this project. So I had to be pushing the album and other stuff and touring. So, it can be time consuming to deal with these things, but if you really love it and you do it because you love it, you will always find time.
One of the things I appreciate about you and certain other artists is your balance. You know what I mean? Life is a balance. You're going to have, your good days, your bad days. Sometimes you want to be loving and nice. Other times you want to cuss out 2 bad words. You know what I'm saying? And that's just life. You know what I mean? Because, back in the days when we would listen to reggae artists, it seemed like, they were just, gentle, everything's great. And then kind of Sizzler came and was like, listen.
Just straight fire.
Yeah, I could do both, but we appreciate it because that's life. And I love the fact that, you're always teaching something. There's always a lesson to be learned in the music that you put out. To you, what is like a song, that you feel so proud about? Like, what is this one song? I know you have tons of them, but what is one song that you really feel proud about?
So, all right, I would say, is that 2 answers I have to this question. I would say the most singularly successful song I have is probably Well Done.
Well Done.
That was like a sarcastic song talking about the government. Well done, Mr. Politician, man. You done a wonderful job of tear down the country, demolition, man. You know what I mean? And that was like my first hit song in Jamaica as a solo artist.
You got backlash from that, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit, but not to my face as much as I anticipated I would. You know what I mean? Like I was like, boy, probably them are gonna fight me, but like politicians was coming up to me and saying, yo, I love that song. I'm making it seem like I'm talking about the other party, but I really both of them I talk about, you know what I mean? So I saw them I try to style it, but don't know. It was one of them. It got a lot of airplay and definitely it was a good look. It never really busting at the dance. That was that was the only thing I felt a little bit of a way about.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it got a lot of play on radio, like news articles, interview, because people were dissecting the lyrics, like it's an academic piece kind of thing. You know, but the song I'm most proud of still, and I even talk about my hip hop journey a little bit, is one called Kabaka versus Pyramid. If you don't know it, when we're done, you have to go look it up on YouTube. It's basically a battle rap song on a biggie beat called Give Me the Loot.
Give me the loot.
Yeah, man. So you don't know, him I rap the place, and it's like two versions of him I talk. You know, so it's the same way with me, like it's my rapper self versus my DJ self. And we are battle rap right through the song. So, and I'm talking about my history, and I'm teasing myself the fact that I couldn't sing and I had to use auto-tune, and you know what I mean? I was teasing my rapper self, and nobody never want to hear what you are saying. You're too deep and nobody not, you know what I mean? So it's like it took a lot out of me creatively to make that song. So I'm very proud of it, and my hardcore fans, and that's one where them always are telling me about, you know.
As you should be, you know, like we all know metaphoric is definitely a thing in rap and in dancehall, but you know, style. You know, we can take it back to people like Papa San, like,
yes.
Or
style, you know, and pattern.
Yeah, or we could take it to Shinehead and Supercat. You know, man. They had so much style and pattern. So I think that's amazing. I haven't heard it, so after this interview, I'm dying. I'm dying to check it out.
Yeah, man. We shoot all our video for it, so it's two of me in the video, like.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. That's really dope. Yeah, for sure. Since you're in a space, you know, still COVID is lingering, and we're still looking to get back to some normalcy. What are you looking forward to, you know, when everything kind of clears up and we get back to normal? Things will never be, it's a new normal, but what are you looking forward to? It's a new normal,
for sure. I mean, hopefully the touring circuit can get back up and running. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm looking forward to the most. I haven't been to the motherland as yet. I haven't been to Africa, so I'm definitely, I had plans to go there last year. You know, those plans didn't work out, obviously. You know, they were still talking about pushing back the dates to this year, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But definitely, like, heading to Africa, that's one of my main goals once this thing really set up, you know?
What got, I don't want to say it the wrong way, what inspired you to become Rastafari?
Sizzla music, like, straight up. His music, like, at the time, that's all I was listening to. And I just found myself just start natty up my hair, I twist my own, I locks them, and it's like, that was just a journey, bro. Like, his music just connect with me on a different level. Like, the first, like, maybe 6-7 years of his music was some of the greatest music ever come out of Jamaica, in my opinion, bro.
The real thing, first of all, the real thing, the whole album, you know,
right,
back front, hits nonstop.
Hits.
Every song was great.
Powerful. Every song.
And because I know how deep you are, I'm gonna share one of my favorite songs of all time for Sizzla, Dem I Wonder.
Yeah, man. Dem I Wonder. How we do this, them go with hate and anger. Age of profit. Yeah, man.
But as your locks get longer.
Holding firm, praise Jah. Like mountains, freedom cry, all that, like, come on, there's no other like Jah. Them sang that even more than the Real Thing album. Them sang them me love.
Yes.
Like, the Real Thing was him taking, it was his greatest album in terms of success.
But it was more commercialized.
More commercial. I never want to use the word commercial because it's not like him sell out, but they were the songs were easy to understand. You never had to be too deep for appreciate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the older songs, them, bro, like, even some of the more militant one, them still touch somewhere deep in a Yassa, brother.
Absolutely, you know? Man. Absolutely. Listen, man, I salute you on so many levels, Kabaka, because, you know, just your love for what you do, the respect you have for the music, for the craft, your fellow artists, putting together the juggling. Let everybody know, I want you to just kind of run down the information, the name of the album, the songs that you have out right now, the 3 songs, and how people can obtain them.
All right, so it's called Victory Rock Rhythm. Alain Song and the Rhythm is the title track of the Rhythm project. So the
I
first
love me
three
some
out,
Elaine, man.
yeah, man, sweetest singer on the planet.
Yes.
Like Alain is out, D major, She Nah Give It Away, and Bugle, What Is Life is out right now. And look out for more songs to come out in the month of March. The full Juggling Rhythm will be out March 26th. You know, so all the songs are on all streaming platforms right now. You know, we'll be looking to shoot some videos and everything and just push it to the fullest. So, you know, just follow me on Instagram, KABAKAPYRAMID, for all the updates. You know, Bebble Rock is the label. You can follow Bebble Rock on Instagram as well, BEBBLEROCK. And yeah, that's what we, and look out for my next album too. I didn't even mention that Damian Marley produced my debut album,
What?
Contraband. Yeah, so
You kidding me right now?
Yeah, so I'm actually heading up to Florida soon to work on the second album to finish that up. So, you know, I'm definitely in
So
the
you know,
Ghetto Youth camp.
So you
Yeah,
know all
man.
about the Lion's Den and
Yeah, man. We are talking about, man, Steve are the Godfather, man.
Raga.
Yeah, man, for sure. With their own blood. And, you know, Gang, I mostly been working out at Gang Studio, but on my album, I did record a couple songs by Steve. He co-produced, he added like some drums and stuff to one of the beats I produced on my album as well. So, you know, that was my first time actually working with Steve in particular. And obviously he's a genius, you know.
Oh, he
Gang
is a genius. Yeah.
You know, it's just great. Juju, we did I play ball, regular, and them kind of vibes. So
yeah, and you know what? You know what's cool about them is that they're so humble. You know, just being sons of Bob Marley and their lineage, they're so cool, so humble, so, you know, welcoming.
Yeah, man, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like when I used to go to the studio, Gang used to like play songs for me and be like, "Papa Keith, you know how you do, Papa Keith." So
yeah, man, Papa Keith.
And I'll be like, in my mind, Kabaka, I'll be like, "You're asking me what I think?" You're Junior Khan.
Yeah, trust me. You can imagine me, you know, as an artist, like just growing up, I listen to them on your music, you know what I mean? So
for real.
It's crazy, brother. It's crazy. Halfway Tree, Welcome to Jamrock, Mind Control. Them album, they are the blueprint, brother.
Absolutely. Kabaka, thank you so much for this wonderful interview. If nobody's going to notice, but I have to mention it. We were trying for like 20 minutes to get the internet right, but you see how Ja works?
We get it accurate.
You see how Ja works?
Yeah, man. Once we start. Yeah.
That was it, man. Continued blessings. Much love, my brother. This has been an honor to talk to you.
Give thanks, man. Likewise.
Continued success.
To you and everybody at the station. Yeah, man.
All right, when you come to Miami, we have to link, man.
Definite. We'll tell Ronnie and we'll set it up.
Please, all right?
All right, yeah, man. No flow.
Salute, brother.
Blessed.